Welcome back to Coins Hunter USA, the ultimate destination for rare US coin discoveries and unbelievable coin values hiding in your pocket change. If you love US coin history, rare finds, and high-dollar treasures, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into another exciting state quarter that could be worth way more than you think. So stay tuned, because this little piece of metal might just be a small fortune in disguise. Top 1 today, we're shining a spotlight on one of the most underrated but astonishingly valuable coins in the U.S. State Quarters program, the 2008 Oklahoma State Quarter Dollar. At first glance, it might look like any other quarter in your pocket change, but some special versions of this coin are turning heads in the numismatic world and selling for jaw-dropping amounts. Yes, we're talking about thousands and even $75,000 for a single quarter, and you could be holding one without even realizing it. So sit back, relax, and listen closely, because we're about to dive deep into the rich background, design details, rare errors, and collector appeal of this fascinating coin, and reveal exactly what makes it so valuable today. Let's begin with the story behind the coin. In 2008, the United States Mint released the Oklahoma Quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program, one of the most ambitious and widely collected coin series in American history. This program was designed to celebrate the unique heritage, culture, and symbols of each U.S. state. The Oklahoma Quarter was the 46th release in the series, paying tribute to the state's admission to the Union in 1907. Now let's talk design. The reverse side of the Oklahoma Quarter is truly a work of art. It features the elegant and iconic scissor-tailed flycatcher, Oklahoma's official state bird, in flight with its long, forked tail feathers trailing gracefully behind. Beneath the bird are sprigs of Indian blanket wildflowers, also known as gaillardia, which are vibrant symbols of the state's natural beauty and resilience. The layout is both energetic and graceful. The bird appears mid-flight, almost leaping off the coin, and the flowers beneath bloom in detailed layers. The combination of nature and motion in this design makes it one of the most admired of all 50 state quarters. The design was created not just for beauty, but to represent the freedom, diversity, and strength of Oklahoma's people and landscape. Even without rare features or errors, it's a favorite among collectors for its symbolism and craftsmanship. But of course, what really makes this coin so fascinating and valuable are the minting errors and rare variants that occasionally made it out into circulation. While millions of Oklahoma quarters were struck and released, only a tiny fraction contain the kinds of errors or features that cause collectors to go wild and values to skyrocket. So, what should you look for? One of the most sought-after types is the double die error, where parts of the design, especially the text or the bird's feathers, appear to be doubled or shadowed. This happens when the coin die strikes the blank more than once slightly out of alignment. On the Oklahoma Quarter, a doubling effect around the words Oklahoma or 2008 can be a huge clue. Another major error is the off-center strike, where the coin is not perfectly aligned during minting. This results in a design that looks shifted or partially cut off. Depending on how extreme the error is, off-center quarters can be very valuable, especially if the date is still visible. Then there's the clipped planchet error. This occurs when the blank metal disc used to make the coin was improperly cut, leaving a crescent or chunk missing from the edge of the coin. These are rare and instantly recognizable. Some of the rarest and most valuable Oklahoma quarters were accidentally struck on the wrong metal blank, such as a planchet meant for a foreign coin or another denomination like a nickel or dime. These are called wrong planchet errors, and they're incredibly scarce. Because these mistakes are never supposed to happen, they create massive buzz in the coin community when discovered. Now here's something all collectors know: condition matters. A coin with a rare error is valuable, but a coin with a rare error in pristine, mint state condition? That's the true jackpot. Coins that have been untouched, uncirculated, and perfectly preserved in a protective case are far rarer than circulated ones. Collectors and investors alike are willing to pay top dollar for those few coins that look as fresh as the day they were minted. It's also worth noting that even regular Oklahoma quarters, without obvious errors, can fetch premium prices if they're in proof condition or part of a special mint set, especially those with a satin finish or low mintage. So you may be asking, what's the actual value of one of these Oklahoma quarters today? Here's the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to own a 2008 Oklahoma State Quarter that has a significant error, like a bold double die, a misstrike, or a wrong planchet, and it's in flawless, uncirculated condition, it could be worth as much as $75,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $75,000 for a coin that most people overlook and spend without a second thought. Just imagine, that little piece of metal in your change jar, purse, or drawer could be the rare find that changes your financial future. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. It's a real-life treasure hunt. So, don't forget to check your pocket change, coin collections, and even those old rolls of quarters you've been saving for a rainy day. Who knows, maybe that Oklahoma quarter you thought was just ordinary is actually a hidden gem worth tens of thousands. Top 2, we're focusing on a truly remarkable piece, the 2013 Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial Quarter, a coin that's part of the highly collectible America the Beautiful Quarters program. At first glance, it might seem like a regular quarter you'd find in your loose change, but don't be fooled. Certain versions of this coin have sold for astonishing amounts of money, and today, we're going to tell you everything you need to know, including how this coin could be worth up to $75,000. Let's start with a little history, because this coin isn't just a piece of currency, it's a monument in miniature. The Perry's Victory Quarter was released in 2013 to commemorate the Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial in Ohio. This national site honors Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry, a naval hero of the War of 1812, who played a pivotal role in securing American control of the Great Lakes. The memorial also celebrates lasting peace between the United States, Canada, and Great Britain. The reverse side of the coin features a striking image, the tall Doric column of the Perry's Victory Monument rising proudly into the sky, with a statue of Commodore Perry standing in front. The design is bold, powerful, and deeply meaningful. It reflects both America's military legacy and its diplomatic spirit, a tribute to peace through strength. But beyond its symbolic importance, the Perry's Victory Quarter is also making waves in the collector's world because of its rarity, errors, and value potential. Now let's talk rarity. While the United States Mint produced millions of these quarters, not all of them are created equal. A select few were struck with errors, or have qualities that make them stand out from the rest. These are the coins that collectors go crazy for, and the ones that can command eye-watering prices at auction. So what kind of errors should you be looking for? One of the most exciting types of minting errors found on this coin is the double die error. This occurs when the coin die stamps the design more than once in slightly different positions, causing a noticeable doubling of letters or design elements. On the Perry's Victory Quarter, doubling is sometimes seen around the text, like in the word Ohio, or the dates, and even around the image of the column or Perry statue. If you see this kind of doubling, you might just be holding something very special. Another highly collectible error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't perfectly aligned during minting, causing the design to appear shifted or incomplete. Depending on how far off-center the strike is, these coins can be worth a substantial amount of money. There are also die cracks, clipped planchets, and missing clad layer errors, which are rarer but extremely valuable when found on this quarter. One of the most famous and valuable types is the wrong planchet error, where the coin is accidentally struck on a blank intended for a different coin, like a dime or a foreign currency. These freak-of-nature coins are incredibly rare, and their value reflects that, but it's not just about errors. Condition matters immensely. A Perry's Victory Quarter in poor shape may only be worth its face value, but a coin in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially one graded highly by a professional grading service, can fetch premium prices even without major errors. And when you combine a rare error with flawless condition, that's when things get really interesting. Collectors and dealers are always hunting for coins with high grades, clean surfaces, and sharp details. If you've got one of these coins safely tucked away in a coin flip or capsule, untouched and well preserved, you might be sitting on a true treasure. So now, let's answer the big question you've all been waiting for. What is a 2013 Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial Quarter actually worth today? Well, if you happen to have a coin with one of the major minting errors we just discussed, like a bold double die, an extreme off-center strike, or a rare wrong planchet, and it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, then you might be holding a coin worth up to $75,000. Yes, that's right, $75,000 for one single quarter. A coin that most people would spend without hesitation. But for collectors, that's the kind of find we dream about. That's the kind of discovery that keeps us checking our change, flipping through rolls of coins, and exploring every quarter with a magnifying glass. So now it's your turn. Go check your coin jars, your drawers, your collections. Look closely at any 2013 Perry's Victory Quarters you find. Study the lettering, examine the edges, check for any signs of doubling, cracks, or misstrikes. Because that ordinary-looking quarter could actually be the rare find of a lifetime. Top 3. We're taking a close look at one of the most stunning and underrated coins in modern U.S. history, the 2014 Shenandoah National Park Quarter. Now, this coin is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, and while millions were made, a few rare versions of this coin have been discovered that are worth far more than 25 cents. In fact, some examples have been valued at a shocking amount, up to $75,000. So stay with me until the very end, because I'm going to tell you exactly what to look for, and how one small mistake at the US Mint could turn this coin into a life-changing find. Let's start with a bit of history. The Shenandoah National Park Quarter was released in 2014, honoring one of the most breathtaking natural parks in the eastern United States. Located in Virginia, Shenandoah National Park is famous for its dramatic mountain views, peaceful valleys, and the winding Skyline Drive, a road that attracts millions of tourists each year. This park is more than just beautiful scenery, it's a living symbol of America's wild and preserved landscapes. Now, the design of the quarter captures this perfectly. On the reverse side, you'll see a hiker standing at the summit of Little Stony Man Mountain, taking in the vast Shenandoah Valley below. The detail in this design is incredible, from the ripples of the distant hills to the texture of the rocks and the sense of scale between the hiker and the landscape. It's one of the most dynamic and peaceful images ever featured on a U.S. quarter, but here's where things get interesting for collectors. Even though this quarter was minted by the millions, certain versions of the Shenandoah quarter are turning up with rare errors that make them extremely valuable. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare variants, you could be holding something far more valuable than you think. Let's go over the key errors and features that you need to watch. 4.1 Major type of error is the double die error. This happens when the coin design is accidentally stamped twice, slightly off position, during minting. On the Shenandoah quarter, doubling can often be seen in the words Shenandoah, Virginia, or around the hiker's silhouette. This kind of doubling is visible to the naked eye in extreme cases and can increase the value of the coin dramatically. Another error to look for is the off-center strike, where the design appears shifted or incomplete. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly centered during production. The more off-center the strike, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the date and mint mark are still visible. There are also clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin is missing because the metal blank was improperly cut. These coins have a distinct crescent-shaped clip and are rare collectibles. Some Shenandoah quarters have been found with missing clad layers, revealing the inner copper core on one or both sides. These errors are visually dramatic and rare, which makes them highly attractive to error collectors. One of the most sought-after errors is the wrong planchet strike. This is when a Shenandoah quarter was accidentally struck on a metal blank meant for a different coin, like a dime or a foreign currency. These are so rare that they often become headline sales in the numismatic world when discovered, and let's not forget, condition is everything. A coin with any of these rare errors is valuable, but a coin in mint state or uncirculated condition with one of these errors? That's when the price skyrockets. Collectors and auction houses will pay big money for coins that are in pristine, untouched condition, especially if they're graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Even without an error, Shenandoah quarters in brilliant uncirculated condition, especially those from limited mint sets or rolls, are in high demand. Coins with satin finish or those that come from special collector's editions often carry a premium value. So now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. If you happen to have a 2014 Shenandoah National Park quarter with one of these rare errors, whether it's a bold double die, an extreme off-center strike, a clipped planchet, or a wrong planchet coin, and it's in perfect uncirculated condition, its value could soar to an incredible $75,000, yes, $75,000 for a single quarter. That's not a typo. That's the real-world market for rare coins when the right combination of error and condition comes together. So before you spend your spare change or cash in that old roll of quarters, take a few extra moments to look closely. That Shenandoah quarter you've been ignoring might just be your hidden jackpot. Top 4. We're diving into the incredible story of a coin that might be sitting unnoticed in your pocket, your piggy bank, or a dusty drawer somewhere in your home. It's none other than the 2015 Saratoga National Historical Park quarter, a coin that not only honors a defining moment in American history but, in some rare cases, holds a value far beyond 25 cents. Yes, some versions of this coin have sold for jaw-dropping amounts, and if you're lucky, yours could be worth as much as $75,000. So stay tuned, because I'm about to tell you what makes this coin so collectible, what rare errors to watch for, and how you could potentially uncover a hidden fortune just by checking your spare change. Let's begin with the history behind this fascinating coin. Released in 2015 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, the Saratoga quarter commemorates the turning point of the American Revolutionary War, the Battle of Saratoga. This historic event, which took place in 1777, was a decisive victory for the American forces against the British and played a crucial role in securing French support for the American cause. The quarter's reverse design is simple yet powerful. It features the moment of British surrender, a sword being handed over from British General John Burgoyne to American General Horatio Gates. Beneath this image is the inscription, British Surrender 1777. This act marked the first time a British army surrendered to the American revolutionaries, a symbolic moment of hope, strength, and unity. The design is clean, elegant, and packed with meaning. For coin lovers and history buffs alike, this quarter is a stunning tribute to American courage and diplomacy. But beyond the beauty of its design and the historical moment it represents, the 2015 Saratoga quarter has become a standout among collectors for one very important reason: rarity and minting errors. Now, you may be wondering, with millions of these coins minted, how can any of them be rare? The answer lies in error coins, unexpected mistakes that happen during the minting process, creating unique variations that slip through quality control and make it into circulation. These error coins are what collectors dream of finding, and they can command extremely high prices at auction or private sale. Let's break down the types of errors that make some Saratoga quarters especially valuable. First, there's the double die error. This occurs when the coin's design is impressed more than once on the die, resulting in a shadowed or doubled appearance, especially on the lettering or important details like the hands, the sword, or the date. If you spot doubling around the words, British surrender, or in the delicate fingers holding the sword, that's a major sign you could be holding a treasure. Next up, off-center strikes. These happen when the coin isn't properly aligned during striking, leaving part of the design missing or skewed. A dramatically off-center Saratoga quarter, especially if the date and mint mark are still visible, can bring in serious value among collectors. Another important type is the clipped planchet error, where a portion of the coin is physically missing due to the blank being improperly cut. These crescent-shaped errors are not only rare but incredibly collectible, especially when they appear on historically themed coins like this one. Also keep an eye out for wrong planchet errors, that is, a Saratoga quarter struck on a blank intended for another denomination, like a dime or a foreign coin. These are some of the rarest errors in all of numismatics, and when found, they instantly become high-demand collector items. But here's a crucial point: condition matters more than anything. A Saratoga quarter with a rare error is valuable, but when that error coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition, its worth can explode. We're talking about coins with no scratches, no wear, and perfect, sharp details. These coins are often discovered in sealed rolls, collector sets, or from original mint packaging. If yours looks flawless, it might be worth getting professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Even without errors, Saratoga quarters in pristine condition can carry collector value, especially if they have a satin or proof finish, or were struck at lower mintage facilities like the San Francisco Mint. Now, here comes the moment you've all been waiting for, the big question. What's this coin really worth if it has the right qualities? Well, if you happen to find a 2015 Saratoga State quarter with a major minting error, such as a bold double die, a dramatic off-center strike, or a rare wrong planchet, and it's in perfect, untouched condition, the value can climb as high as $75,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $75,000 for one single quarter. It sounds unbelievable, but in the world of coin collecting, that kind of find is absolutely possible, and it happens more often than you'd think. So now it's your turn. Check your change, go through your coin jars, and don't forget to revisit those old quarter rolls. That one 2015 Saratoga quarter you picked up and forgot about? It might just be your hidden jackpot. Top 5. We're uncovering the story of a modern coin that many people overlook, yet it could be worth a staggering amount of money. We're talking about the 2017 Ozark National Scenic Riverways Quarter, a beautiful coin that celebrates one of America's natural treasures. But here's the twist: while this coin was mass-produced like many others in the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a select few have unique features that make them ultra-rare and highly valuable to collectors. Some of these special quarters have been valued as high as $95,000. Yes, you heard that right, so listen carefully, because we're about to dive into the design, the history, the errors that make this coin rare, and how you can tell if the quarter sitting in your drawer is actually a jackpot in disguise. Let's start with the background. Released in 2017, the Ozark Riverways Quarter is part of the United States Mint's America the Beautiful series. This specific coin honors the Ozark National Scenic Riverways, located in the heart of Missouri. Known for its spring-fed rivers, breathtaking bluffs, and deep green forests, the Ozarks are a haven for nature lovers and adventurers alike. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see the historic Alley Mill, a striking red grist mill that sits beside the crystal-clear waters of the Jacks Fork River. It's a symbol of simple, rural life, a reminder of how early settlers harnessed nature for survival and community. This mill isn't just beautiful, it represents a slice of American history that still stands today, preserved within one of the country's most scenic parks. Now, let's talk about what makes this coin really exciting: the rarity and the errors. The U.S. Mint struck millions of these quarters, yes, but not all of them came out perfect. Some carry unexpected flaws, known as mint errors, that make them incredibly rare and extremely valuable in the eyes of collectors. One of the most desirable types is the double die error. This occurs when the coin's design is impressed twice, leading to visible doubling in the lettering or image details. On the Ozark quarter, you might see this doubling on the words, Missouri, 2017, or in the fine architectural lines of the mill itself. These coins can sell for a premium, especially if the doubling is dramatic and clearly visible. Another major error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't perfectly aligned during minting, causing the design to appear shifted or partially missing. The more off-center it is, while still showing the date and key features, the more valuable it becomes. There's also the clipped planchet error, where a small portion of the coin is actually missing because the blank metal disc was improperly cut. These errors create crescent-shaped gaps that are instantly noticeable, and very collectible, but perhaps the rarest of all is the wrong planchet error, when a quarter is struck on a coin blank meant for another denomination, like a dime or a foreign coin. These mistakes are extremely rare and can be worth thousands on their own. Combine that with a clean strike in excellent condition, and you've got yourself a real treasure. Another collector favorite is the missing clad layer error, where one layer of the coin's metal is missing, giving it a strange coppery or two-tone appearance. These are easy to spot and often highly sought after, and of course, let's not forget about condition. Whether your quarter has an error or not, if it's in mint state or uncirculated condition, the value goes up. That means no scratches, no wear, perfect detail, and a sharp strike. Coins like this often come from sealed rolls, mint sets, or have been carefully stored since day one. If you find one with both an error and a high grade, you've hit the coin collecting jackpot. So how much can this coin be worth? Well, here's what you've been waiting for. If you come across a 2017 Ozark Riverways State quarter that features a major error, such as a bold double die, off-center strike, clipped planchet, or a wrong planchet strike, and that coin is in perfect, uncirculated condition, then that tiny quarter could be worth as much as $95,000, yes, $95,000. Imagine turning a single coin into the down payment on a house, a new car, or even a life-changing investment. That's the power of knowing what to look for. So before you spend another quarter or overlook that 2017 Ozark coin in your collection, take a close look. Check the details. Inspect the edges. Study the design. Because your next great discovery could be just a glance away. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more incredible coin stories, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Coins Hunter USA, and tap the notification bell so you never miss the next valuable coin that could be hiding right in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting and good luck on your next hunt.